Hello, everyone. I know it's been a hot minute since I put up a video. Been dealing with some illness recently. It just didn't feel like making videos, either reacting to games or picking games for that week. But now I'm back at it. So let's go ahead. Let's get this week's games done. Headed down to the last part of the season here. So let's not waste any more time. Friday night, we got a couple of games starting off. We have the BC Lions going east to take on Hamilton. Tiger Cats have already locked up a playoff spot. They're trying to have a home game in the East semifinal when they take on Montreal, but at 8-8, they're kind of behind the eight ball with this. So, looking up at the Owls. This is a big game for Cats. Big game for the Lions, though, too. Because if they have any hope of catching the Bombers and getting that home game in the West final, they got to have this one, and they're going to need some help. Alas, BC is the better team. We all know that. However, they have struggled in games where they've played in the East this season. However, just given the circumstances right now, I'm actually going to stick with the Lions in this one because, yeah, both teams have something to play for. And while this game could go either way, I could see James Butler easily having a pretty big night against his old team. I still think Vernon Adams and that relentless passing offense is just going to be too much. Next up, we got a crucial showdown in the West between the Riders and the Stamps in Calgary. If the Riders win this game, they will clinch the third spot in the West playoffs and then be headed to either BC or Winnipeg for the West semifinal. As it stands, the Riders have been terrible lately, just real bad. While I have liked what I've seen out of Jake Dolegala sometimes, it's just not consistent enough. And there is a lot of receiving talent on that team as well. Now, if you're looking for consistency, the Stamps have not been the team to look at thus far this season. They've had some good games, some close losses against some good teams too. But Jake Mayer has been all over the place this year. But that said, Dave Dickinson, I think he gives the Stamps the edge and they take this one at home. Moving on tomorrow, we got Elks hosting the Montreal Alouettes. The Owls can lock up home field in the semifinal with a victory in this one. The Elks not playing for anything more than pride at this point. This could be a tough matchup to predict because teams that are just playing for pride can be dangerous, can want to spoil someone else's season. Will it happen this time? I'm not sold on it. I just wonder if the way that the Elks have used Trey Ford this year, if defenses are kind of catching up to it, they kind of know to hem him inside the pocket, keep him from rolling out and making plays that way, because they know that the Elks cannot make a living with Trey Ford running up the middle. That's just not going to happen. So while I still have some questions about the Montreal balance on offense and all that, I'm going to give the Owls a slight victory in this one. Now, the last game of the week, Saturday, is Ottawa heading to Toronto. These are two teams with nothing to play for. The Argos have already locked up home field advantage in the East final. The Red Blacks are eliminated. I think the Argos are going to be fairly cautious, probably rest a number of their important players. Chad Kelly, AJ Alette, maybe some guys on defense like Oakman or McManus. As such, it's my upset of the week. I'm going to go with the Red Blacks in this one. So we'll see what happens, and should be an entertaining week. Looking forward to this and playoff games coming up very soon. Be back to talk about this with you all later.